In its case management hearing on Tuesday, in the case of Misenga Jones and others versus the chairperson of GCOM and others, Chief Justice Madam Roxanne George has set Friday, July 17 at 14 hours for the oral submissions of the case to be presented, and is hopeful that by Sunday, July 19th, she would be able to deliver a ruling in the matter.
I'm hoping that I can give this decision by Sunday, but it all depends on what is presented.
The application before the High Court was filed by coalition supporter Misenga Jones through his attorney Mayo Robertson, questioning the validity of the results of the national recount exercise, which the chairperson of GCOM has instructed the CEO to use to consolidate his report, which will be used to make a declaration of the winner of the 2020 elections. The applicant, Misenga Jones, among other things, is of the belief that the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, in delivering its judgment in the case of Irfan Ali and others versus Eslin David and others, had voided the results of the national recount, and therefore is arguing through his attorney that any results emanating from the recount exercise could not be deemed valid. In addition to the applicants and respondents, 6 other parties have requested to join as parties to the case, namely Irfan Ali and Bharat Jagdeo, represented by Senior Counsel Douglas Mendez and others, the Citizens Initiative and Change Guyana, represented by attorneys Mohammed and Kashir Khan, a New and United Guyana, represented by Kamal Ramkaran, the Liberty and Justice Party, represented by Hari Ramkaran, the New Movement, represented by Timothy Jonas, and the United Republican Party, represented by Sanjeev Datadin and others, all parties to the 2020 general and regional elections. Written submissions are to be made by the applicants by 23 hours on Wednesday, while the respondents are required to submit theirs by 22 hours on Thursday. The applicants will then have until Friday at 11 hours to submit a reply to the respondents' arguments in their written submissions. In an attempt to block the chairperson of GCOM from making any declarations or decisions while the court matter is ongoing, Maxwell Edwards, representing the Attorney General of Guyana, Basil Williams, sought to have the court grant a stay.
And what is that status quo?
Your Honor, we were just adopting the approach or practice of the CCJ.
I know, but I'm trying to understand from you what is the status quo that you would like maintained. I do not.
The chairman of GCOM does not proceed to make any declarations or decisions, declaration or decisions in relation to the various issues that are before Your Honor.
However, attorney at law for GCOM, Kim Kite Thomas, submitted that her client has always acted in accordance with the law and there was no need for such an order to be granted, which the Chief Justice upheld.
Your Honor, as has been my client's position in relation to these matters, once these matters are pending, I believe she has conducted herself throughout all these proceedings in a certain manner. And I believe, Your Honor, a similar approach will be taken in respect to this matter.
That addresses the issue, Mr. Edwards.
July 15th makes it 135 days since Guyanese have cast their ballots, while uncertainty still looms as to which party won the 2020 general and regional elections. Further, the country has been operating without a budgetary allocation for 2020, coupled with the effects of the constant rise in COVID-19 cases almost daily. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Wendell Badrie.